And we are live. It is another great day for Cribl. We are in the CriblCon live stream. Just incredibly fortunate to have the team from Copart with us. We have Alex and Akash. Hey, Alex, can you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hey, Ed. Alex Ondrick, Senior Manager, Cyber Defense at Copart, overseeing the incident response, currently the detection engineering, as well as ensuring the 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year operational security of Copart and subsidiaries.
Yeah, that's awesome. Akash, tell me about yourself.
Hey everyone, I'm Akash Sahu. I work as a senior engineer cyber defense under Alex. I've been at Copart for around 4.5 years, and day-to-day tasks like I deal with all the logs at Copart.
There you go. Hey, that's a
fun
big
time.
job. So tell me a little bit. So what does Copart do?
All right. So Copart essentially handles anything that has a motor and wheels, right? So if it has a motor, wheels, or even tracks and runs, we probably sell it, deal with it in some capacity. So Copart has about 350, 400 yard locations across the globe. Yards are where cars, vehicles are brought in, stored, cleaned, repaired, refurbished, and ready to sell. So Copart specializes in automotive online vehicle auctions, right? So user will pay a bit of money, $100, get access to the platform for a year, and then you can bid on any sort of vehicle to your heart's content. I could go on and on, but that's the short version, boss.
All right, so you're operating a global business then.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Global, somewhat decentralized data centers spread between, let's say the Western hemisphere and the Eastern.
All right, so yeah, a truly global business. You have a lot of different regulations, a lot of different data to handle. So you got a lot going on.
Well, we have a lot going on, but thankfully we have competent, exceptional engineers such as Mr. Sahu here that make sure the T's are crossed and I's are dotted.
Yeah, there you go. And so in how your users interface with you, is that mainly online?
Yeah. So we're mostly going to be using Microsoft Teams, right? We have a Microsoft ecosystem. Most of our communication will be via email, Outlook, right? Via Teams. So yes, primarily.
Think about your consumers though. So when your consumers go to bid on a car, is it through an online portal or is it in person?
Okay, great question. Thank you for the clarification. So when a member is going on to bid on a auction, they are going to use the online portal. Yes, right, the Copart website. So internally, we technology, right, might use Teams, Outlook, but when it comes to our users, our end users, yes, they're using that online portal.
All right, so you got quite the threat service then.
I could go on and on. Absolutely. So it's a challenge, right? It's a challenge getting your arms wrapped around the scope. We can talk more about that.
Absolutely. Hey, and Akash, so tell me about logs. So you're pulling logs from around the globe then. So not only the local yards or auction houses, but then you're pulling it into your centralized systems. And so you have a lot of data moving around.
Can you give me some details exactly. There? Sure, Ed. So as our data centers are like situated around the world and in cloud, it has previously it used to be like a really challenging task, like to manually oversee every single log source, and then manually figure out like how we're going to get those logs from point A to point B and make sure nothing is being dropped in the middle. We're not losing anything. And also making sure that, hey, we are not crossing the limit of our whatever the SIM solution or the logging solution that we have. But now, since we have Cribl, that makes that job a little bit easier for us.
I bet. So prior to Cribl, was it how much time are you spending trying to collect data globally and also bring it into your systems?
It would take us a long time to manually cover up all the different every single yard, every single data center, and all those different locations. Sometimes people would even have to go to the data center for the annual maintenance and then try to figure out how we're going to get those logs from different servers and stuff. So yeah, I would if you want me to put the on numbers, it would take us weeks.
Oh, yeah. And if you'll allow me.
Oh, sure. Go ahead.
And that's not even getting into the standardization, right? That's not even getting into having one field stored in 4 different formats. Let's say source IP, right? SRC _IP or capital SRC IP, right? it was not standardized, and it was challenging, especially during like an incident response type of situation. So just add.
Yeah,
So
it just sounds painful.
it really
This is
was.
Yeah, collecting the data, collecting the right data, collecting the right data that's in the right format in order to help you facilitate, what you're doing. Those are all different stages of value. And so, hopefully this is where Cribl came in and helped, shorten the time. But also, Alex, you mentioned detection engineering. I mean, I like to call detection engineering data engineering. Without the right data, writing quality, repeatable detections is a massive problem.
Oh, how do you scale that? Absolutely, absolutely. And credit to David Morgan, right, our senior security engineer who handles the detection engineering team for Copart, right? When we're talking about CrowdStrike Next Gen SIEM, that's all David Morgan. Of course, the team's helping. Of course, we got Akash on the Cribl side, but the scale of trying to manage those detections, and oh, by the way, if you're looking into detection as code, right, because it's ones and zeros. How are you going to store that? How are you going to keep that? How are you going to keep your scope of everything you're trying to do here? So yeah, scale, especially globally, it's challenging.
Yeah, and especially that. I mean, so how long have y'all been on Next Gen SIEM?
About a year and a half, I want to say, maybe coming up on 2 years. We were one of the first customers to adopt it, and again, David Morgan's really been leading the way for a lot of the cybersecurity community with Falcon Next Gen SIEM.
Yeah, David's real impressive. So I mean, you're always impressed with your team. So this is something that's great, and we always really enjoy working with the CrowdStrike team. I mean, Next Gen SIEM is a really effective platform. So it's having that combination of Cribl and Next Gen SIEM together helps you in a lot of ways.
Absolutely, and platforming, right? Another attractive aspect, specifically on the Falcon side, is having a single pane of glass, right? Not having to pivot between, let's say, 40 tabs instead of 10 tabs, right?
Right.
Now, on the Cribl side, being able to have confidence that we know what's flowing, where it's flowing, knowing, hey, if something's not working, right? Being able to more quickly troubleshoot, right? So yes, platform side, Falcon, wonderful single pane of glass for responders, and on the log management side, it's nice having control of the data. It's nice.
Yeah, it's really a big deal. So are y'all utilizing a data lake or something for retention and also data that may be important but not important enough to be put in your SIEM?
So funny you say that we are using the Cribl lake as our data lake. So any log that we deem like, hey, we need to keep it in full fidelity, but due to the cost of modern SIEM, we cannot send those full fidelity log into our SIEM. So just for keeping it, maybe we'll need it in the future. Maybe we are only going to need it for the audit purposes. We're going to store all those logs in Cribl Lake as a cheap storage.
Do you use it for any kind of analytics use cases like threat hunt or anything like that?
The logs stored in Cribl Lake, we use we have teams not from security, but we have teams from other department that they use Cribl Lake and the logs that are stored over there for their own purposes.
Oh, even better. I mean, I think it's hugely important. And also, this is how security then serves an enterprise function in order to provide more value to the enterprise. Share your data, I think, is very, very important. Excuse me. I talk to a lot of teams, and one of the big things I always encourage teams to do is share data and have it where you offload data out of your SIEM. There's a lot of data that you have just doesn't make sense to put in your SIEM, but you needed to put it somewhere else. And so having that secondary place. Have you all tried Cribl Search? Is that been effective for you?
We do use Cribl Search. Any data that's stored into Cribl Lake right now, if the team wants to use it, and if that log is not in SIEM, we encourage the team to hey, we have Cribl Search, you have access to it, just go over there and just quickly do a wildcard search of what you're looking at. And if you guys need those stuff in SIEM, just tell us hey, you want this specific log source, or this specific field, or this specific event from those log source. We'll work with them, and then we'll forward those specific events into SIEM.
So are you using Replay to do that?
We do. We do use Cribl Replay or Cribl rehydration process. I can give an example. Recently, one of our other department, not security, but other department. They came up to us and they were like, hey, we want the WAF logs into their own platform, like a different platform that they are using. And they wanted like, hey, I want the past 1 month worth of logs from Cribl Lake into the platform that they wanted to use, right? So Cribl Rehydration or Cribl Replay made it like a 5-minute job for me to like forward a month worth of logs for them.
Yeah, isn't that great? I had the same thing, prior to Cribl with my own team. That kind of request would have required some significant engineering and frankly a pain in the butt.
True.
So
Yeah.
having replay in place, it's just like click, click, click. And the thing is, I think it's important is it's not Next-Gen SIM or Splunk data or Elastic data. It's just your enterprise data. Now you can put it back anywhere.
True.
Yeah. So I mean, that's a great example of that. So that's awesome. So I'm glad you're getting so much value from it. And is there anything so like what do you want to do in the future? Do you have any ideas about what your roadmap's looking like?
Alex, you want to take that?
Yeah. So overall, big picture, and then Akash, I do want you to get into some more specifics. So big picture, as we keep watch on our ingest limit, right? We're constantly brushing up against that. So as we're identifying our security log sources, identifying the fields we care about, and bringing those in, we're going back on the in the Falcon Next-Gen SIM side and developing detections, right? Starting to use detection as code. We're constantly looking at, okay, what log sources are going to help us with, let's say, UBA, right? User behavior analytics. Okay, as we are identifying our capabilities, we are starting to go, okay, what logs we need for that? Okay, what do we need to build on the detection side? And I could go deeper, but Cribl is making it a lot easier for us to forecast and plan. Very, very, very helpful at my level.
Cool. Akash, do you have anything that you want to see?
Yeah, I can dive a little bit deeper on that. So like whenever we add a new log source in Cribl, like we just store the full fidelity log into Cribl Lake directly, and then when it comes to like, hey, let's say we want like a firewall log into Next-Gen SIM, then we'll sit down, we'll like create a plan of like, hey, we want the firewall logs, but we don't want to send the full firewall logs into SIM. Then we'll sit down with the detection engineering team, we will sit down with the incident response team, and we'll figure out like, hey, we want those logs in SIM, but since we only want the logs for like, hey, for specific alerts that we want in SIM, and then we will only forward those specific events from the firewall logs and not the full fidelity of firewall logs.
Yeah, I mean, it makes a lot of sense. And it's all about, and this is important. It helps you manage your cost, but also gets you focused on the right data. The right data is what solves problems. And this, detection, security, IT, it's all about the right data. And so I think that's one of the things I always liked about Cribl was it can essentially do both.
True. Cribl can do a lot. Cribl can do a lot and makes my life a lot easier.
Very cool. Hey, you know what? That's the best thing I can hear because to me, that's what's important. How do we make your lives, your working lives, like Alex's detection engineers, more effective and also less effort? Everything is hard. Let's. I think vendors should focus on how do we make things easier.
I love it.
True.
I love it.
Hey,
and confidence, right? So just that topic, confidence. At my level, I don't want to worry. I have too many other things to worry about. I don't want to worry about whether logs are getting where they need to be. I don't want to worry that we're not seeing something. I want to know that we are giving Akash, our engineers, all of the tools, all of the capabilities that they need to accomplish our intent, right? And Cribl gives me that peace of mind. And I don't think you can understate that, especially not these days.
Yeah, it's a big deal. I mean, hey, it's trust. Right. So we're here today. Let's talk a little about CriblCon. So I got to give the obligatory, if you haven't seen it, we have the CriblCon announcement. CriblCon! There we go. So we have the spiritual leader of CriblCon, Mike, just, giving us the announcement. So really excited. And Alex is going to be there. Akash, I really wish you could be. Hopefully get you there next year. So we're going to be there. So just to give it anyone who's not aware, so it's going to be next week. Very, very exciting. So it's going to be 13th to 15th in National Harbor at the Gaylord Resort in National Harbor, Maryland. And we're going to have a full day of training on Monday. We're going to have 2 days of events. So Tuesday, Wednesday, lots of meetings, speaker sessions. So Alex is going to be there. we're going to walk around, we're going to meet people. It's just I think it's a great opportunity to meet people. It's not about other Cribl users. It's about other users who are in security, who are in data, who are in detections, and they're going to be able to just share information. We're going to have a good time. We're going to have the herd hullabaloo, which will be a good time. That'll be a lot of fun. And just I think the speaker events is what I'm really looking forward to. Alex, we're going to get you on stage next year, whether you want to or not.
All right, boss.
Yep.
You got it. Hey, if you see us there, I not speak for that. Let me speak for myself. If you see me there at CriblCon, I want to talk to you, right? You're going to hopefully benefit from talking with me as much, or if not more, than I'll benefit from talking with you. But I think I'll get more from talking with you because I'm really interested in what you and your organization are doing to solve these challenges. And that's not a line. Really, come talk.
Yeah, and I think that's key. It's just sharing. This is everyone who's working in their individual areas. Your head's down. You're trying to solve problems. Knowing what the industry is doing, what trend, what are the trends, what are other teams doing? It's really, really hard. And that's the best part about these events is, ignore the marketing, ignore all the other nonsense, but it's talking about talking to other people in your field and also the customer events. And this is something I really like about CriblCon. Every single speaking session is about what are customers doing. Almost all of them are led by customers, and so this is something that it's a great opportunity to learn. I mean, I'm going to be sitting in the sessions learning too. I can't wait.
You know what, Ed? I'd love to call out a few courses or talks that I'm looking forward to. So, and Akash, feel free to add, but intelligent defense, the scalable zero trust architecture, that is going to be cool. SIM migration in 68 days, that sounds really cool as well as optimizing telemetry data, case study, and streamlining data processing and cost control. Those are just a few of them.
Yeah, the first one you mentioned is awesome, and also the SIM migration in 68 days. As you know, having done a SIM migration fairly recently, migrating out your SIM is no joke. It's pain, it's risky, and being able to migrate to something better while still maintaining your posture, while making it easier, is key. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've spoken to security leaders to start out with, I hate my SIM, but the effort, the risk, the cost of migrating away, it's really hard to make that decision. And having Cribl in place makes that an easy decision because I trust that I can do what I need to do. I can get to something better while maintaining my posture. And for security leaders, the maintaining the posture is the big deal.
The choice, the control, the flexibility. It's not just a marketing tagline. It does what it says.
Yeah, absolutely. So, hey, for everyone, I really appreciate it. Thank you for your time. Alex, Akash, thank you for being here. Alex, I really look forward to seeing you at CriblCon. So, do y'all have anything else you want to close out? Any kind of last words?
Stay awesome. Stay curious. Stay hungry.
There you go. Akash?
Enjoy CriblCon and keep reducing those log volumes.
Hey, there you go. I appreciate it. Hey, so this is Ed Bailey from Cribl. I want to thank you for everyone's time. We look forward to seeing you next week at CriblCon, and take care.